Okay, second attempt. New to this live streaming thing, so at any rate, at least for the beginning of the video, for people to know what's going on. This is a model, at least, of how we're bringing to this competition called Megathon at University of Michigan. Team and I that we're actually not from U of M, we're from Kendall College of Art and Design. We're creating both a service and a product at the same time, and the product is kind of can be swapped out at some point, but the service is really the embodiment of like how this would work. So the idea is that in the event this is an emergency shelter design that we're doing for like emergency relief. The current problem statement would be one that's for agencies like FEMA and other like government agencies that would be there no matter what. They sometimes don't arrive until one case study we found was they didn't arrive till like 30 to 45 days after the event of the disaster. So that's 30 to 45 days of someone not, or potentially not, because there are other nonprofits that do sometimes get there. But this nonprofit that we're considering is somewhat a organization that can come as quickly as possible and provide shelter for those who have been displaced. So we're using, in the spirit of open source, using this open source architecture system to create parts for the design and shape of the structure we were wanting to provide. Which this is actually 16 feet across all the way. And we are using this because it also makes these shapes out of CNC cut out sheet material, which can be, you can consider this like the IKEA of architectural building. That's open source, so you can make it create it how you want. This will be available for download for the time it's done, at least completed. And we'll be able to not only us can tweak and modify it, but anybody in the WikiHouse community can tweak and modify it. So it's pretty fantastic for people that are more gifted or talented than I am in modeling or in engineering of any sort, making it small. Just give me minor fixes or maybe a major overhaul, who knows. So we're kind of leaving it up to the community. Whether or not they even want to use this either way, or using it at least a couple times. To be able to ship the product in the event of disaster. The idea is that when a meteorologist, instead of reacting several weeks, if not days later, to the event of a disaster, to do damage assessment, and then that's when FEMA gets funding, is after the damage assessment of the whole destruction of an event. This is a nonprofit that's specifically focused on those who are displaced from homes to be able to have a home for home shelter, at least for a little while. It's more than just a pop-up tent or some of these other very clearly temporary designs. This is one that hopefully in its end life could be even used for, could be utilized as a maybe a community building, maybe it's a building that's in a park, or even could be used for a small house. The idea that we initially talked about may not be implemented, but it's the idea of expanding too, so multiples of these can actually become one large house. using the system, the WikiHouse system. So to make them expand and to overall save costs, and the idea between this and others is that sending a digital file to manufacturers closest to the event of a future disaster that's been predicted to happen. For example, a hurricane. You'd rather see a hurricane is really in the ocean. It's going to come up and hit the Gulf of Mexico. So Florida and all the other surrounding states are in danger of getting really hit with this hurricane. So with the same software they're using, they're able to see like a area of effect or destruction zone, I guess you could say. And just outside this destruction zone, we can contact CNC manufacturers, or any manufacturer that makes things that uses CNC, to partner with this nonprofit person, potentially to have like some sort of tax spread too from it. I don't know, to try to provide some incentive. At any rate, very similar to how in World War I and II, specifically, manufacturing facilities changed their system to be able to create tanks and other arms for the event of a war. Now, this is kind of like an internal disaster that's being helped on a sprint of a couple weeks, maybe. So it is a shorter period of time than a war, which lasts years. To allocate, like, let's say, a quarter of their machines of the CNC to be able to help make these disaster relief shelters for people. And then on the day the disaster happened, they already have these built up. They can ship them down to said disaster points and build them on site because they're able to flat pack and ship these to save as much cost in shipping and other factors. So, trying to do as much design thinking as we can for this service. So I'm really happy with how the project vision is turning out. This is a learning experience. It's my first design competition. This design in itself I do not find terribly aesthetically pleasing, but I think it's something a little different and unique. Just a box, at least. And the efficiencies of a hexagon for any sort of structure are amazing, really. I think there's different aspects of hexagon shape that this system doesn't provide, potentially. But this is version 1, you know. I think upon like material efficiencies that the hexagon can provide, I don't know if this one actually does provide. But anyways, hoping this project evolves, and that's kind of the point of me broadcasting this video is get your ideas. Maybe you want to be a part of it in some way. You can next week when we upload the file to the WikiHouse, maybe you can have some additional input on it, and or private message me, or let me know what you think. If you'd like to be a part of the project, let me know. There's room for improvement, definitely. So still working on this too. This keystone up here, this definitely needs some attention that we have not had time to put in quite yet. But I'm working on the paneling today, so that is what I shall do. Previously, I am new to live streaming in general, so this is actually the first place I'm living in that's actually available to have internet fast enough that makes it efficient or worth watching. But at any rate, yeah, so let's get started here. So I'm working with studding. I just recently edited a component to be able to fit this vertical stud here for other wall paneling, interior and exterior. Maybe for the shelter purposes it'll just be exterior, but we'll see. reason why I have parts kind of like just scattered about on the outside is I've discovered through this project, probably just a basic knowledge that some people use this often, but when you edit a singular component that has repeated, that's repeated throughout the whole project or the whole SketchUp file, if you edit one component, which is great to do, also edits all the rest of them that are named under the same file but have the same characteristics. So whether or not that actually works for your setup, that's what I discovered is I did not want that. So I needed to export it and make a new component out of it, and then go from there. So right now, if you don't know already, so I have one group here. It's actually this frame. It's a hexagon. I've repeated this frame 6 times. So if I highlight anything in here, you can see it actually repeats it around everything. Greatly improves a repetitive process that would take 6 times instead of me doing 6 times the work I do, 6 times, I guess you could say. So yeah, so this is what I'm working on right now. I'm not one to talk very much, so I'm just hoping maybe you guys could, I'll be talking throughout the video, of course, but this is definitely me just trying to concentrate on working, and if I think of something to say, I'm not an adamant YouTube uploader, so I don't know all the tips and tricks of being able to talk while I work constantly without actually having anybody physically in the room, so this is all very new to me. Actually, just before this video, speaking of which, I'm gonna make sure. Oh, good. Okay. It is working, so that's good. I am new to live streaming in general, so as I haven't mentioned before, I selected like the whole area to be able to broadcast thought. But it turns out it was just the window of my browser. XSplit is a program I use, or am using to be able to live stream to YouTube. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, get familiar because it is very nice and simple. I do want to use all of the search programs at some point, and even the operating system itself too. I am dabbling with Linux a bit. I found a distribution that I really like called Lucid Puppy, Puppy Linux. It's really interesting. It can actually, on boot, you boot it from a USB flash drive, so it is in a sense portable. It's meant to be portable initially, but you can allocate sessions to be saved onto the hard drive. But the amazing thing about Puppy is you don't actually need a hard drive for it to run, because on boot up from the USB flash drive or live disk can boots up to your RAM. So the whole operating system, because the whole operating system I think is incredibly small, like the biggest I've seen it, I think, which is Lucid Puppy, because it has the Debian repositories. Here we are. Cool. What was I saying? Spouting a bunch of Linux crap, I guess. For those who aren't familiar with Linux, I am sorry. I am spouting a bunch of stuff that may or may not make sense. But for those who are, I am going to continue. It boots up into the RAM. I think it's only like 250 megabytes is how much room it takes, so it doesn't even need that much RAM, really. But the whole operating system exists on the RAM for that session, and then upon the event of you quitting, it saves its session and all the files and changes you made into the hard disk, and then So it's using the hard disk as reference, so the RAM as reference, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so I just thought I'd share that. I find it pretty fascinating. It is very different from like Debian or Ubuntu, which is the two other Linux distributions. Obviously, you know, Ubuntu is my first introduction to Linux, which is a good stepping stone. Looking into ones like Mint and other factors too. One day I will be completely off of Windows, but in the meantime, you know, with me still being a gamer and someone that's doing design work, I do enjoy having the availability of the library content of Windows. For Mac, you know, you pay for what you're branding. That's my opinion on that. I had a MacBook Pro for 4+ years, and can't say I'm necessarily happy with that experience, but mainly because I want to do what I want to do with my computer. Don't limit me, alright? don't mess with my shit. If I want to do more shit than what is currently available, let me do it. So, but anyways. So this is interesting. I may have to do a different bit. I wish there was a shortcut for paste in place, but so when you have something that you want to paste in the exact place, but essentially move it like out of a layer or something of that nature, or out of a group, which is what I'm doing. It's in a layer, you can just edit over the entity info. So I'll delete this. The reason why I'm deleting it is because I actually need to move it differently on different sides of the hexagon. So because this is going to be a door frame, and then there's going to be also a window frame, and then across the plot there. So delete this. Now delete it on everything. And what you do is get out of this group. And now we can go to edit and paste in place. And it goes to the one that I was just looking at. But since it's not in the group, it is multiplied by 6 for the structure. It is now just here, which is not what I need at least. So see. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to make it unique. See what happens. I've just been exploding it, regrouping it, and then throwing out that. But let's play with this one. Unique. Let's put this back to here. Ah! Sweet. Cool. I'm still learning SketchUp, but I thought I'd start broadcasting for people to learn about this project, the issues it's trying to solve, which is a pretty massive issue to try to tackle. So, and also possibly as kind of how I use SketchUp, and I should also post that in the description. I have a plugin that allows you to take files from SketchUp and export them as additional useful files, types, which vanilla SketchUp does not allow you to do. So I shall post that in the description. And it's from like Guitarless something, really off the wall website, but it's a guy's personal blog, so that's the reason why it's on a guitar list website. But yeah, let's see here. It allows you to, it says specifically DXF and STL, but I noticed that there's a lot of other options that I didn't have previously, so cool. STL, if you didn't know, is stereolithographic, something like that. It allows you to have the availability of the 3D warehouse in SketchUp, which is a great resource for finding community-made things, or for those users that like to rip things from games and upload them to. They allow to do that. Anyway, so you're able to have that large repository of things. Put them into SketchUp, and then as an STL file, you can send it to a handy-dandy 3D printer and have something physical from that file. So, which is what it's meant for. So, or you can use it for programs like Autodesk Make or 123D Make. I'm just talking now, so actually, yeah, and that's a really fascinating and awesome program. So get familiar if you're not. We have a lot of reference links that I'm following. Well, yeah, you're able to make things more out of the CNC process rather than 3D printing using 3D files, which it may or may not have like a direct port for SKP or SketchUp files. If it doesn't, you can export it as a DXF. DXF is the appropriate one I'm trying to say. Or STL files, which I think I do know actually that it works correctly with STL files. But I think I recognize DAE files, Collada, I think whatever that is. The day that coffee becomes a rare commodity, or it gets heavily taxed because they don't have enough fields or whatever to be able to support it, it's going to be a sad day for all of us. Whether or not it's not going to happen in my life, it's beautiful. Oh yeah, just since on a tangent. Hey, cool there. I like to listen to music that's lyric free while I'm looking. To not get on tangent again now. But there's a lot of actually research studies talking about how do I put it? Lyricless or like classical music is often what's coined as like the best creative or get in the groove, sit down and work sort of music, which Google Play Music, whatever you want to call it, has a great radio station called EDM Instrumentals. So I like electronic music. Don't always like to hear a dubstep, Skrillex sort of that's stuff that has like lyrics and a lot of like dubstep-esque beats all the time, just kind of like ambient background music is kind of that's like calming but kind of energizing at the same time. So this is a station that I often listen to when I'm working on homework or designing or just something in general. And what I used in high school, maybe because of the iPod actually, in middle school, used to be really into music because it was the cool thing to do. Now, not so much. I've kind of drifted away from knowing all I can about music. Maybe I just moved my priorities differently, have real life problems instead of just high school and middle school problems. But I actually use music as a tool. So like when I want to head down to do work, this is the type of stuff I listen to. And when I want, like for example, when I'm doing dishes, because currently the apartment I live in does not have a dishwasher. It's really unfortunate, but I loathe dishes. I actually listen to kind of nostalgic music, something that'll take me back to a different memory. So like I used to like classic rock, so sometimes I listen to classic rock. It reminds me of like when I used to do chores with my dad, or parents in general, around the house, because that's what we listened to on the weekends when we were rocking out and cleaning up the house and stuff. So, or doing yard work or window washing. I used to do window washing, so I listened to. I have like every kind of music, I guess. I used to listen to country, rock, metal, hard rock, some hip hop. Then get into like hardcore rap, like techno, angsty high school music, you know. No, I am a lot more chill and relaxed about my music style. I listen to a lot of like, I love the Black Keys radio stations, just all of that sort of genre that comes about with that artist. He's really great. My uncle actually showed me that on Pandora. And then Fleetwood Mac, just kind of like the folky sort of stuff that's coming out. I'm clearly taking a break right now, by the way, so I'm just kind of ranting. Speaking of which, you get back to work. So. Okay. It's probably just me. Yeah, I'm just watching. Oh, it's okay. Alright, so now I'm going to actually export this stuff and work on converting these parts into a usable file. Sometimes I hate SketchUp, so that is one of the nasty things about using it. Sometimes it can be rendered almost a useless program just because it's inability to export files correctly or things of that nature. So Trimble, get on your shit. But at any rate, maybe actually purchasing the program. I can't advocate for SketchUp Pro, so maybe that's the difference is. However, I feel like that's not an excuse for exporting a usable file. But at any rate, let's see here. So what I have to do is actually export this chunk. And I'll just do that 6 times, and we'll get most of my parts at least. So I'm going to actually start a new. Drag and drop stuff to be able to put onto the sheet material. So again, this project is meant to be able to take said files that I'm going to try to make here, to be able to cut out. I actually need a downscale too. So actually right now, before I do this, I need to downscale this. So that's actually making the file to work with the sheet material that we're going to be making our small scale model on. And it's actually, instead of it being specified to a specific scale, it's actually going to be specified to a specific material thickness, which makes things a little more tricky. So I'll show you how to do that in a second. Instead of this, I'm just going to bring the whole damn thing. Here we are. So let's move this guy out of the way. Just fit in general. That's fine. Let's break that multiple sides. Just moving crap out of the way. Bring some workspace management, I guess you could say. God, I hope this saves as a YouTube video later on rather than just being live. Wow, what is that guy doing? Get out of there, get down. Yeah, so I'm new to broadcasting, especially on YouTube. I don't have very many videos, if any videos actually on YouTube, so whew, newbie. But I'm really hoping to document this as I'm working on it. In a way that people can see it as I'm working on it, and then hopefully there's a way I can communicate with you guys while you're watching with me at some point. Because I'd like to continue this kind of like this workspace, you know, and on the desktop of a designer or undergraduate designer at least. Yeah, this just kind of as a how-to, and hopefully you can help me and I help you, sort of thing. So community, in a sense. And I'm just kind of getting used to using these programs, live streaming programs, and yeah, getting social with design. So yeah, it's gonna be a big file here. dissect that is with this file that I'm doing. So I'm going to just move it out of here. Hopefully, yes. Okay, so that worked. I'm new to the make unique command, so I was just exploding and then making a new component. And Lord knows that that's really time consuming. So. Get rid of some unnecessary lines because I'm exporting this as a DXF, which will take the lines out, and then I can make the line paths actually useful for a software that's meant for like with it, kind of like the driver support, I guess you could say, for manufacturing software for CNC machines and laser cutters, etc. Good old select and delete. Okay, so now I have a singular plane, which seemed a lot harder than it needed to be to be able to get. So now one part that can be cut out. I'll actually need to add a line to it someplace. I'm going to add it at a halfway point. Yeah, we'll make a halfway point. To the bottom portion, which I had to create a file. Actually, this file I created too, but I had to create a file that actually allows the WikiHow system. For those who haven't seen the rest of the broadcast, if anybody's watching, to be able to allow the WikiHow system to go 120-degree angles, to allow us to even make a hexagon, because currently it's working off of a system that's meant for 90-degree flat angles, normal housing, but this is something we're trying to add value to, so not just for the competition, but for WikiHows. That's a word I was actually trying to look for earlier today. Just trying to get as fast as possible. I need to get this to another team member to be able to. He's going to help me out with retracing these file paths. So again, to make them useful for cutting softwares for machines. So. Okay. Yikes. Fortunately and unfortunately, I can crack like almost every break on my back, so if not all of them. So it really grosses some people out, but I haven't had to pay chiropractor bill yet, so there you go. Yeah, some of this crap's tedious and probably not necessary, but. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm broadcasting this. I probably need to watch my mouth a little bit. So apologies if you guys are tender ears or whatever you'd like to call that. What I did is I'm making this 2 scale, so what I actually need to do is to this unnecessarily monstrous file. That's probably a better way to do this, but and scale it. So what I need to do, this is modeled to full scale and how it should be built, and that's, you know, if that's all I was doing, that'd be alright. But we're going to be making a model, small scale model, that's meant for, instead of it being currently the sheet size, which is what WikiHouse has it set as, it's meant for 11 by 16 or 11/16 inch thick, 4 by 8 foot sheet material. So it's 11/16 inches thick by 4 foot by 8 foot, which I guess is a standard, but I feel like something that's more closer to the lines of like 1/2 inch, or something that to me seems more like you can grab at Home Depot, or something like really quick to grab like that. It's pretty universal, at least. Would be better. Yeah. Because 11/16 is, think of it like, what would be 12/16 would be 3/4 inch. So that's, you know, just under 3/4 inch. So it's not even in the, you know, English system. Not that I'm saying that's better or anything. I'm just saying in general for here in the US, since that's the standard. That's what we got to work with. So we're at the inability to convert to the metric system for our reason. So we go 1/2 scale. So that would be. Actually, let's redo that. So a great way that's not efficient, rather than doing math, the best at that, to be able to scale something down and digitally measure it to see what the material thickness is. So now I'm at 3/8 inch thick material, or tilde, so it's roughly 3/8 inch thick. So it's still good to go. So I use the tape measure to get from a certain point. 30%. Alright, where are you now? I'm trying to get to 0.197 inches material thickness, because that is you bought material that's actually 5 millimeters thick. So that's what that is. So if I draw a line at, so it's just under 1/8 inch thick, because that reference right now is 1/8 exact instead of rough. So if I go 0.197 inches. See, it's bigger. Okay, yeah. So I went too big on that one. Or, not too big. I scaled it too much down. guess and check system, but I've actually gotten really accurate at it. And once I get a little closer in range, I can finesse it really nicely to be exact. It's just a guess and check until you get closer. Roughly like need to expand not double, but 3/4 of the way, so I'm going to scale it up to 1 point. Alright, don't hit the shift key. So like programs like Illustrator and some of the other programs, shift is actually a modifier to keep the aspect ratio appropriate to the maintain the existing aspect ratio of everything, instead of like skewing and distorting the model. So SketchUp is just the opposite. So which is actually kind of nice. That way you can just quick pull it instead of having to think about holding shift as well. That's not big of a burden. Alright, so this is roughly 3/16. So we're gonna go here so I can see the line. Go point to 1. Okay, so now we're a lot closer, but you can tell that a little bit more needed. So that's definitely what you don't want, is for it to be smaller. So I'm going to go down by 15%. And then we're on the opposite side, okay. Pretty spot on, actually. That, well, okay, that's still the so if it's estimating, well, I can get closer. Non-believers. Told you. I guess the jinx system is tedious. Can't work. Rather than I can say it's a system. It's really just me being lazy. Okay. So the sheet material. Oh, it's so tiny. Save some processing. This guy. And by the way, this is what's not my working point is. My shape material that I'm cutting on is just scaled down for the material thickness. So now we need to make the files, all the files to be able to cut out multiple sheets of material to assemble it. So I'm going to go 2 foot vertical. Reference lines for me. I could. So I guess I'll do that. And there. Okay. I don't want this line in here. The lines are more for reference. Anything else? The bed of the laser cutter we're using is large enough to be able to hold this sheet too, so okay. Okay, so these parts that I just separated out was to make sure I've got this. So actually I'll just move it so that we don't have a copy. What the hell I've put in there when I haven't. There's a way to reset that bounding box for this. So just do that. So if you set things too close to the edge for laser cutting or CNC cutting, you could either have some imperfections or to have files that don't cut correctly working machine material, or just the file not being exactly X and Y, like exactly straight from the CNC router, and also have the machine material exactly straight. So that allows for some tolerance, some wiggle room, as we call it. I won't need these things, right? Sorry. Now cutting, cutting with a laser cutter, you can get away with doing this. Not all, well, you know what, yeah, I'll keep it like this. So we're going to be using laser cutter. But if you were using CNC, you know, the thickness of the cutting tool that's coming about, you know, it's tracing your line files. We'll have to, for this file, for example, it would have to be the outside diameter cut, and rather than inside cut. So that's what it's referencing when you say outside or inside cut. Talking to a machinist. I think that's the term, right? Machinist. Alright, so this guy. Can be deleted. Goodbye. Okay. So this file. Also this 3-foot piece in the center. So I'll just duplicate. There. So yeah, I don't have to remake that at least. And once this file is done, we'll be exporting it as a DXF. No, DWG, sorry, boy. Team member corrected me on that because I kept on saying DXF. So I kind of explained earlier, you can mirror something like I just did there. I scale, and scaling to the negative one side by overlapping. So just a nice little trick to know, because some programs are easier to do that on a command rather than. is here. Rotate. SketchUp can be a headache sometimes. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Of course. Let's stick it there. What? Oh, come on, give me a break. Well, this may more or less turn into an entertainment channel instead of an information channel or video. So we'll see how that goes. See how the internet takes me. Okay, so this is a part I'm actually adding to the WikiHow system. I've got to design out to make it capable of like joining at 120-degree angles instead of just, you know, butting up with the conventional and ideal, actually. It's currently ideal. 90-degree angles. That's, you know, most housing is. So we'll see if this actually ends up being a really useful addition to the WikiHow system. If not, you know, it's all in the spirit. So. Woohoo! It is. Part's done. Yeah, it's all done. Now, for you. So when you have an open gap like that, sometimes it's just a hidden geometry that's not there. As I said, sometimes. The reason why I did go through and out is because when using the rotation tool, it recognizes surfaces more or less for areas of rotation. So make sure that it's a surface and we're going to rotate it in the direction I want to. And do some things like that. Create some abstract art shit in a moment. And I hope that exports okay. SketchUp can, as I've ranted before, SketchUp can be troubling. And really the plain material in here doesn't have to be specified in any color, because really when we export it, we can select it to export faces and edges, or just edges, by that meaning lines, so we won't even bother with faces, so it won't be necessary. Good. Okay, hey, reference line. Goodbye. And cylinder. Okay. Load review. For convenience. Temporary convenience. And same situation here. Except I think this one does have hinge. Yeah. Oh, and then there's some geometry from the previous files. Sweet. Okay. Hey, you know what? Before I could use this too. Get it here. theory, perfectly flat. As in theory. Okay. I do. Back. It's changing. Hypothetically, a faster method, but obviously isn't. Fine. Okay. This is something I'm going to have to close up. And send it over here. Therefore, work nicely with 13 members. Motion around a little bit easier. Actually, now I think about it. So my teammate Ian, he has offered to help me out with a few things on like getting the model laser cutter ready. Yeah, I want to think about that. I'm going to share the YouTube video, the URL for that with him in a second. Let's see here. Oh, good lord, that is fuzzy. Yikes. Yo, what's up? right here. Why not? Okay, how do I share you? Two. Hey, cool. Somebody else? What? This is crazy. Hey, number two. Thank you for watching me figure out how to do this. Oh, good lord. Okay. Anyways, I'm trying to actually share this with a friend. Link. So I'm gonna stop. is the reason why I'm exploding the entire model several times to get to its base lines and planes, is to get just one plane in the easiest, most efficient fashion. So, yeah, that's the explanation of that. When we export this, I'll be exporting it to be able to just be the lines and not the, there's a little checkbox to be able to export lines and /or planes. And we do not care about planes, so we do not do that. So I'm going to get a group and paste. Almost there. Actually, I'm going to do that twice for one frame. There. Okay, so that's done. This is already scaled down to be able to cut for our model. That's, I'll have to do the math on to figure out exactly what scale fraction that it is. Because I scaled it down by the material thickness rather than like a scale percentage. Alright, so this one now. This is more important for our team to get done today rather than finishing the model, because we actually need to start cutting and start cutting down our model. See how it works in real life rather than, you know, how we expect it to work, which is not always good to make assumptions. So, yeah, and then start seeing something physical put together. So, explode. Space units. Massive amounts of clicking. Paste. This guy. Group it and then have an intersection like this, and then not have to worry about it stacking or catching them like we've seen earlier today. So when you're in the middle of something, there's a measurement that pops in. Upon rotation, upon making a line, upon measuring, anything of that sort. How I use SketchUp, or in the way that I use it at least, it's getting a little close to the edge. And this one actually is group still. Group. Not just more for easily moving around more than anything else. Again, keyboard shortcuts. That's where it's at, man. Where my phone is. Send a quick text here. Stand by. again, for anybody that's on the team or not, you can change this up and flip it, similar to like how you can easily do it on Illustrator or another program, by watching the scale in the bottom area down here, bottom right. So it's in green scale. So if I get to negative 100 exact, that means it is exactly the same as it was, just a flipped image of it. So that's how I've been able to like recreate pieces. And for cutting out on sheet material, it doesn't matter really. So just a little tip trick to keep in mind. So, if somebody could leave it either in the chat or private message me, or anybody from the group seeing this. I don't know if sound is coming out of both my desktop and also through my mic, because obviously my voice is transmitting, but I have music playing. I don't know if it's going through both and then creating some sort of like distortion. Hopefully not. Sorry guys if it is. But again, first time broadcaster, so it's figuring this stuff out. So now, I'll get some of these bigger pieces down first. I can swap this out. Or, I guess I could use it. That's correct. Alright, you are now good. I think this is just identical top and bottom, so I can delete this guy. That's all lines from previous parts being laid out. Hidden geometry that doesn't get selected sometimes. You don't see. Really, for this it doesn't really matter, but just for peace of mind, I guess. can use your arrow keys to let it know which axis you want to reference things off of. So I'll go off of red axis. Get as close as possible here. Okay. And does that intersect here? Yes, you do. Dick. So we're gonna should be a little closer. But I'll sit down. Oop. Okay, moving on. Those two. God, I hope I can fit. I don't think I will be able to. Okay. I can fit the whole frame on here. It's more and more looking like I'm not going to be able to. So. This section. Okay, so now we got spacers down here. So what is this? This is oops, wrong. That is at back to my other model. Actual scale. So this from there to the bottom is 5 feet. Okay, so what about from here? So if it could be all one piece, that'd be fucking fantastic. Not quite. Damn it. Yeah, I'll just do it from there. Or, let's see, where's it intersecting? Yeah, we'll do it from the bottom. Right? Is that a deal? Right, guys? Right. Otherwise, you have separate groups selected in the tree rotating. What can happen? These. See, yeah, the little tilde scares me because I don't want the bow. I don't know exact. Hey, so yeah, so now it's quite a few groups. But when you have multiple groups, and then you decide to rotate, so let's do it real quick, just to show you. Rotate like this. And now it's making me lighter, so that's cool. Yeah, so we'll just ignore what I say. Sometimes they can just stay in place and then rotate individually, instead of like being all one component. But it made me lighter, so that's cool. hidden geometry gets kind of screwed up, but you don't see that when it's exported, so just kidding. Control C. You can tell I work with both MacBooks and Windows, so fun stuff. I work with laser cutter, not necessarily for CNC, but is the other side identical to that? It is. Okay, cool. So that means review, copy, paste. Yeah, okay. Cool. It's working! It's happening. I'm doing shit and shit. Yeah, I should probably watch my mouth when I'm broadcasting, so sorry guys. One prone to swear when I'm working on inanimate objects that tend to make me look stupid. That's still something. Okay. Not only inanimate objects, inanimate digital objects. They're not even real. Not even real yet, people. People that aren't actually watching my channel. So sad. I'll just go the other way because I know that's actual. Need to move. Know my degrees of angle spin. Okay, so wait. Grouped. Explode. Now these are groups. Explodables. Groups. Now it's gonna ask me a ton of times. Oh, okay, I guess it's that time. It's cool. Get rid of that crap. View. Geometries. Get rid of that crap. Hey, how's it going? Nice. I'm broadcasting right now. So,
oh, okay. I don't know what that means.
It means the webcam is live.
Oh.
Well, it is. It's on
You're
YouTube.
Skyping.
I'm not Skyping. It's publicly broadcasting on YouTube. So.
Want to see my fancy diploma?
Yeah, you got a fancy diploma? Alright guys, I'm going to take a quick break.